and welcome back to Wickedly Bookish, where we talk about any and all things book related. I'm your host Wickedly, but you can call me whatever you'd like. Grab a cup of whatever drink makes you happy, grab a blanket, and light your homemade candles, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. Today's candle is a homemade candle inside Sally here. This is my little candle holder, Sally. She is not homemade, the candles are homemade. And today we have a purple candle that is scented with jasmine and rose petals, because jasmine is my favorite essential oil, and I need all the comfort I can get today. Quick little life update before we get on to the good stuff. My arms have been broken, so yeah, I'm stuck in these braces for the next week or so, but then I should get them off and I'll have my cat back, thank goodness. Yeah, so that's how my life's going. It is currently 2:30 in the morning, but we're gonna push through this because I've been wanting to make this video for quite a while. So today's video is going to be about Harry Potter. Is it really as good as you remember? Spoiler alert, the answer is no. So we're gonna break it down to truly too many points about why Harry Potter is honestly one of the worst books I've ever read. First point, family is somehow better just because, and that's the magical bioessentialism talking. 2, the gross creature depictions that she's made. 3, the stereotypes, and we all know the stereotypes that I'm talking about. Her characters, her world building, and her plot, and why they are all flat. And then finally, to end off the video, we're going to talk about J.K. Rowling herself, because why not? My first point, family is somehow better. And I think you all know where I'm going with this. The Dursleys. Somehow, it was better for Harry to be with the Dursleys, who abused and neglected him, instead of a family who actually would have cared about him, like, I don't know, the Weasleys? Hell, Dumbledore could have kept him. Like, they surveilled the Dursleys for what at the beginning, because they saw how horrible the family was, and they still gave Harry to them just because he's blood related to them. And that is really, you know, kind of the crux of this point, is her bioessentialism is kind of gross, honestly, because family is better. Why? No reason, just because only blood relatives could give Harry this thing that he needs, and they can protect him despite the fact that he is literally abused and mistreated all the time at their house. Like, he is almost killed because of Dudley. Like, what do they give him that nobody else can give him? Like, it's supposed to be a remnant of his mother's love that he's protected when he's at their house? Why? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, shouldn't it be a place where he's loved or something? Where her love still lingers, that kind of thing? Like, why would it be the Dursleys specifically? Just because of their blood relation to him? Make it make sense. But that's not the only gross thing that she does, and the bioessentialism is really prominent in her books, because not only is she gung-ho for blood family and blood family only, but she also has a bunch of different races of creatures that are all somehow less than humans. So it's time that we talk about that. I think there's 3 main ones that I want to go over today, and that's going to be the goblins, disgusting, the house elves, arguably worse, and the werewolves, which is just dishonest in my opinion. So let's start with the easy one, the goblins. What the hell was she doing there? Like, honestly, I cannot think of a single reason that the goblins would be like that. They're characterized more like I don't know, trolls or dragons are in regular mythology than they are goblins. Like, goblins are supposed to be, like, mischievous and make trouble, but instead she has them be, like, greedy bankers who, like, hoard gold and stuff, and they hate humans for some reason. And, like, you know, just the way that they are, like, bankers, greedy, big nose, these were all, like, really prominent Jewish stereotypes when World War II was happening. And it's just really gross to see these creatures, who are definitely not like that in the actual mythology, be portrayed like this for seemingly no reason. Like, it's clearly just a projection, and she's projecting this caricature of Jewish people onto these goblins. And it's gross. It's dishonest, and it's gross, and it's misleading, and it's presenting these stereotypes to children, who are the main audience of her book, and depicting that as, like, a normal thing. All around gross. Which, you know, brings us to the next one, which is the house elves, because what in the world? Who in their right mind would think it was a good idea to do that? They're slaves. They're literally slaves. But they like being slaves, which is an excuse that was used to justify slavery back in the United States not too long ago, honestly. Why do they like being slaves? Like, and why does nobody care that they are slaves? Like, Harry and Hermione are all about, like, equality for mudbloods type thing, and, like, you know, but Harry doesn't even care that the house elves are literal slaves. Like, he doesn't even try to free Dobby until the end of the second book, and he does free Dobby, but, like, Dobby's the only house elf that he frees. And then, like, Hermione starts the Spew Club, where she wants to, you know, free all the house elves, which is great, but she's literally the only character who cares. She's the only character who cares, and she gets actively made fun of for caring about this, because they like being slaves. They want to be slaves. They need to serve. And, like, no, they don't. Like, literally never in the history of ever has there been any creature that has, like, wanted to serve as a slave. Like, humans hated it, right? And there's not a single mythology of any kind where slaves are portrayed as anything other than wanting to be free. Because who wants to have their free will crushed by someone else? But in the books, the house elves genuinely like being slaves. Like, they don't want to be freed. They don't like it when Hermione starts wanting to give them clothes. Like, she's the only one who cares. Nobody else does, not even the house elves. And nothing ever comes of it. Like, she never frees any house elves at all. Like, maybe Creature, but, like, Creature was indentured to Harry, and he didn't free him, despite the fact that he hated Creature. Creature hated him. He obviously didn't want to serve him, and Harry had no problem freeing Dobby, but he refused to free Creature. Like, just, what goes through a person's mind to make them think that that's okay? Like, I don't know. Like, just, why? Because Voldemort is the bad guy because he wants to, like, enslave humans, which is exactly what they're doing to the house elves. Like, it's just beyond my comprehension, to be honest. It's baffling. How did she think that was okay? Like, I'm done ranting about the house elves, I swear. Which brings us to our last creature that I want to talk about, which is the werewolves. And this one is a little bit more of a stretch, I'd say. It's not too much of a stretch, especially knowing J.K. Rowling's views, but I've heard a lot of people say that that werewolves are a metaphor for gay men and AIDS in the 80s, and that's disgusting. It's so dishonest of her to portray them like that, because, again, werewolves are not usually portrayed the same way that she portrays them. Like, I mean, sure, they're sometimes scary, but like the way that she had the main werewolf, like I know Remus is technically a werewolf, but the main werewolf is Fenrir Greyback, and he is said to specifically prey on the children of his enemies. Children, which is a very gross stereotype about gay men or LGBTQ people in general, is that they prey on children. And knowing J.K. Rowling's views, I don't think it's a stretch to say that that's what she was going for, because they prey on children and give them this disease. And it's disgusting, honestly. I can't say much else about her characterization other than it's disgusting. Because it is. That's just, she puts all of these stereotypes into every fantasy creature that is decidedly not what their mythology characterizes them as. And she just projects all of her racism and homophobia onto her characters. Which, speaking of stereotypes, it's time to move on to our next point, the stereotypes in her book. Books. Obviously, the biggest stereotype that we see is Cho Chang. Don't know what went through her mind. Like, that's not even a name. Like, it's not a name anywhere. Like, she just put two Asian sounding words together and called it the Asian character's name, which is the only Asian character in the books, aside from the Parvati twins, who are South Asian. But it's just, why? Why? You couldn't come up with a regular name for them? I know there are Asian people who live in, like, England, and they have real names. Like, yeah, maybe an Asian name, but that's not an Asian name, it's just a stereotype. And she doesn't really have any character either, so it's not like, you know, she's going out of her way to give this character any meaning. She's literally just there for Harry to have a crush on, and then she mourns Cedric. Like, that's literally it. Who is she? Nobody knows. And then her stereotyping of the Slytherins just in general is kind of disturbing, because she created this house whose literal only purpose is to be evil. Like, why wouldn't they get rid of that house then? Like, I don't understand. Like, why wouldn't they just, like, if literally every villain is a Slytherin, why not just get rid of Slytherin? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Which, you know, also, the fact that she didn't even make up the house system, and that's, like, just a thing that happens in Britain. Like, there's literally nothing original in her books at all. And, like, nothing is ever original, but there's nothing that, like, there is no spark of creativity in her books. It's just stereotype on top of stereotype on top of stereotype. Like, all of the characters are just archetypes. They're not even, like, people. And it's so dry and boring looking back on it. And the prose, don't even get me started on her prose. It is so juvenile. Like, I literally wrote better when I was in 4th grade. I am not joking. Which, you know, let's transition right along into the fun portion of the video. Everything is flat. Characters, flat. World, flat. Plot, you guessed it, flat. Her characters are so one-dimensional, it's not even funny. Literally just archetypes. Dumbledore is the wise old mentor archetype. He's literally Gandalf. I don't know what to tell you. That's why people confuse them so often, is because they're literally the same person. And listen, Dumbledore is the real villain in that book, because, like, seriously? What in the world was he thinking with raising a child to sacrifice? Like, that man drives me insane, but that is a topic for another day. Let me know if you want to hear me rant all day long about how Dumbledore is the real villain in Harry Potter. But Harry, he has very little character. His only real character traits are that he's abused, and he's brave, and he's reckless. They say he's a good wizard, but we never really see that, ever. Like, he does like 2 spells total the entire book series. It's like Expelliarmus. I'm pretty sure that's the only spell he uses on a regular basis. Like, I'm sure he used Alohomora in the first book, and then he used Accio in the 4th book. But there's literally, like, Expelliarmus is his only spell that he uses on a regular basis, and he doesn't learn many spells. And the spells that he does learn, they're literally just words in Latin. Like, why do they need a whole school for this? They could just learn Latin. I don't understand. Harry, his character is so flat. He doesn't have any real character development either. Like, he dies at the end and then comes back, but he's the exact same person. Like, there is no metaphorical death to self. There's just a real death. Like, it's missing the entire point of what the hero's journey is, which is a way for a character to grow and expand their mind. And this happens with all of the characters except maybe Neville. Like, Neville has a little bit of a character arc. Hermione just stays smart and like a little brave throughout the entire series. Ron is just loyal. He's like literally a golden retriever. You could replace him with a golden retriever for most of the books and everything would stay the same. Like, somebody needs to do that. Like, he is just a golden retriever. I don't know what to tell you. And not in the fun, like, golden retriever boyfriend way. Like, he's literally just a dog. That's it. Hermione's character drives me crazy because, like, yeah, my only personality was books when I was 12, but, like, then I grew up, and she has literally no character development for the entirety of the series. So, yeah, just drives me crazy. Dumbledore dies. What did he learn? Nothing. He's an old man at this point, and he has never changed. Snape has maybe the most character development, but he's literally just a bully. And don't even get me started on when people think that Snape is like a good guy. He literally bullied a child just because he hated his father. Like, Harry hadn't done anything to him. He literally just bullied a child. All of the characters are very one-dimensional. And then her world, very one-dimensional. I tried to do research for a Marauders Era fanfic. Jesus Christ, I'm not even dyslexic. I don't have an excuse. Like, I'm not reading this. I just can't speak, I guess. I wanted to write a Marauders Era fanfic with Regulus in it, and I went to look at the wikis, and there's no information about any of the Marauders. Like, there is no character development on any of them. Like, what were they like in school? What was Regulus's eye color? Like, literally, we don't even have personality traits for any of the Marauders. Like, who was Peter before he was this coward who turned on them? We don't know. We have no memories of him. What was Sirius like before he was in prison? Like, reckless? What is with her and making Gryffindor's only character trait be recklessness? Like, that's not a character trait. I mean, it is, but it's not like the only one. Like, they need to have, like, anything else about them. Yeah, but her setting is also very flat. Like, have you seen the map of, like, the world and, like, where the schools for magic are? Like, Africa as an entire continent has one school, and then Britain and like Ireland, that area, like that little bitty area, has its own school. So what is the, like, how big is the Africa school? Like, because it's got to be huge if Hogwarts has like that little area of people and that many wizards go there. Like, Africa has got to be ginormous. Like, I'm pretty sure like the entirety of Chad would have to be a school in order for there to be one school. Like, it would be ridiculous because she doesn't really have a grasp of how many people there are in the world. Like, there's one school for South America, there's one school for North America, there's one school for Africa, but Britain gets its own little school. Like, make the scale make sense, please. Literally not a thought in her head, I swear. Like Germany and France have their own schools. Unless I'm remembering where Beauxbaton and Durmstrang are incorrectly. But I'm pretty sure it was Germany and France. Like, they have their own schools. Where are these people going to school? Like, the entirety of Africa. All of Africa. That is an enormous amount of people. Honestly ridiculous. But she's just so focused on her own, like, she's so Eurocentric. It's ridiculous. Like, it drives me insane. There are so many things about her books that just literally drive me insane. Yeah, but moving on from her flat world that has literally no development, like no thought put into it, I swear. And like literally the only development that she did on the, like, you know, the fairy tales that wizard kids get told, she only did that because it would make a profit after her like books came out, and like she only put them in there at the very end so that she would have like a reason for the Deathly Hallows to be in there. Like, it just, you can tell she had no idea what she was doing when she was writing this series. Like, drives me nuts, I swear to God. But yeah, moving on. Her plot is also extremely flat. It is quite literally the hero's journey with no spice, no flair, no nothing, no individuality whatsoever. I literally, if I just named like the 12 steps of the main hero's journey that everybody knows, like everybody will be able to figure out like where everything goes. So honestly, let's do it. Let's get into the plot. The first step of the hero's journey is the ordinary world, which we obviously see with the Dursleys' house and how they treat Harry. Like, very, you know, and it's good to show the normalcy of what the world is like before you upend it. Like, that's one of the tenets of writing. Like, you're supposed to do that. And then the second one is, the second point of the hero's journey is the inciting incident call to adventure, right? This is obviously when Hedwig comes, or not Hedwig, it's another owl, whatever, they're all Hedwig to me. When the owls come with the letter, right? Then there's resisting the call, which, you know, is the Dursleys trying to keep the letter from him and like trying to keep him out of reach of the owls. Like, it's so boring to describe this. Like, what? Anyways, then there is meeting the mentor, which is first Hagrid, but then Dumbledore, who is quite literally the archetype of the mentor. Like, that's literally what he is. Yeah, and then the Dursleys are obviously threshold guardians, whatever. Then the fifth step. Let's see, what is the fifth step? I always forget the fifth step. Crap, I don't remember. Step 6 is allies, tests, enemies, that kind of thing. And this is the majority of the books. Like, if we're going off of his broader hero's journey, then it's literally just the majority of the books. And there's like a little bit of up and down, but most of the action always happens at the climax. But literally, for the most part, nothing happens until the climax of these books. Like, it's all just nothing, and then all of a sudden there's a spike, and then it goes back to normal. But yeah, then there's Approach to the Inmost Cave, which this one is going to be when he is like, you know, when they're having the fight, and he like goes to see the memories, and he sees that Dumbledore has, that Dumbledore had planned for him to die. The Inmost Cave is where he is killed by Voldemort. That's sometimes known as the metaphorical death to self. It's a literal death in this case. There's literally no nuance. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Then there's the reward. He comes back from that, and he now has what he needs to kill Voldemort, which is all of the Horcruxes are gone, except Nadini, who is killed by Neville, conveniently. Neville has no purpose in the plot other than this. The road back, that's Voldemort brings him back to the school, like to the front of the school. Resurrection, surprise, he's alive. Like, literally no nuance. It's literally just the step, like the titles of the steps. It's not even the meaning of the steps, it's just the titles of the steps. And then, you know, resurrection, this is where the actual climax happens. He kills him. And then, you know, return with the elixir. He's won. He got the Elder Wand. Like, the only twist is that he threw the Elder Wand away, which is, like, kind of stupid in my opinion. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's, like, showing that he's not greedy or whatever, but that's not growth. Like, if he had been greedy in, like, the first book, sure, that would have been, like, a really good ending point, because, like, it would have shown how far he's come. But he was never greedy, so this doesn't really show any character growth. Like, what was he supposed to become? He's exactly the same as when he was 11. Like, none of these people develop at all. And that's, like, my biggest gripe with the plot, is that, like, the events of the plot are supposed to happen to the characters to make them grow. Like, that is the point. Like, you want the characters to be fundamentally changed from where they began to where they end. And none of them are. Literally none of them. Even Draco, okay, like, he becomes, you know, he's not arrested or anything, but he was still part of the Death Eaters. Like, he doesn't do anything good. Like, his mother had some character growth where she pretended that Harry was dead when he was alive, but Draco is the one that we see more often than her, and he doesn't develop at all either. Like, only side characters can have growth, and even then, it's not that much. Like, there's nothing fundamentally changed about these people. Like, Narcissa, she didn't fundamentally change, she was just still trying to protect her family. Like, nobody changes. Everything is stagnant, and it drives me insane, because that is the point of the story. What have we learned throughout all of this? Was Harry Potter really that good? No, it wasn't. It's clouded in nostalgia and rose-colored glasses, and the fact that when everybody read it, we were like 11, and we had no critical thinking skills whatsoever. I am speaking for myself there, but I feel like it's a pretty universal thing that 11-year-olds don't have much common sense. But yeah, once I've grown up and now I know, like, you know, about the current state of the world and, like, history and literally just the most basic knowledge and understanding of cultures around the world, and I can see that it's, like, it's blatant in her text and it's disgusting. So here's where I want to talk about J.K. Rowling. Whenever I talk to my parents about books that I hate because the authors suck, they always say, you have to separate the art from the artist. And the problem is that with people like J.K. Rowling, who are so overtly racist, homophobic, transphobic, those things translate into their writing. When you write, you leave a piece of yourself in the text. I know I do. And, like, she left all the worst parts of herself in those books. And it's impossible to separate the art from the artist in this case, because she literally poured those stereotypes into every word. And she wasn't a good writer. Like, she wasn't even a writer to begin with. It was pure luck that Harry Potter ended up being as popular as it did. We had a void after Tolkien where the fantasy world needed something new, and she just came in with it. And it was literally pure luck. She had never written anything before that. And she has since used her platform to just shit on people. Like, just everybody, especially trans people. J.K. Rowling is not a safe person. She has spent the past, probably decade of her life just shitting on trans people, shitting on trans women, saying they're not real women, saying that they shouldn't be allowed in women's sports or women's bathrooms. And she is now providing a platform in which people can, like, anyone who supports her is supporting anti-trans organizations. And I think it's really important that if you don't agree with that, if you support trans people and you support LGBTQ people, that you speak up about it, and that you don't support her, because that is not the kind of legacy that I want to leave. That one was a little bit heavy today. We're gonna leave it off there. Let me know if you have any other ideas for authors or books that you want me to review. Harry Potter, not that great, but let's see, maybe next time I will do a book series that I actually like. So leave your suggestions in the comments below. Please leave a like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video.